interesting part of my drive is over. The boring part of my drive begins. The place where all the cops sit and everybody has to do no more than 74 miles an hour or else you get a ticket. One thing I do notice about the S4, and one of the reasons why myself, people I work with, other people that I know that are in this business, one reason we all respect and admire the V8 S4 is it's kind of the perfect little package. One, you can get an automatic, which, again, I don't want to hear it from the automatic haters. The reality is this, guys. I like driving a stick just as much as you at a racetrack. I don't need to drive a stick in bumper-to-bumper traffic, in gridlock. It's just a reality. I like driving the automatic. It's got good power, but it's tame around town. It gets decent economy. Not great economy, but it gets a little bit better than an AMG car does for economy. The power delivery is super smooth. It's very linear, much like the V8 M3 we drove earlier, but with a little bit more stink on the bottom end, a little more torque, which is nice. But you've got the best of all the worlds. This is a real-world sports car that you can drive in any condition, rain, snow, whatever, because of Audi's Quattro all-wheel drive system. It's fun, it's smooth, you can put people in the back, you can put your stuff in the trunk. It is probably the best no-compromise car, if that makes sense, to you if you want a fun sport car. M3s are great. I don't need a two-door. What about a four-door? Okay, I don't need SMG. SMG is not fun to drive. It's kind of that weird half-breed compromise deal. But what about an RS4? I've driven an RS4. They're hot. They are blisteringly fast. They are faster than most people can think. That's how fast those cars are. They react super fast. They're amazing. I would bet that they are super fast on the track. But for real world applications, the car is just, don't quote me, but the car is too much. Yeah, there, I said it. Does 450 horsepower in an Audi RS6 drive great? Yeah, it does. Does 450 horsepower or whatever it is, 430 horsepower in an Audi RS4 drive great? Yeah, it does. Unless you're in traffic, or unless you're just trying to putt down to the store and you're wasting the wonderful abilities that the Quattro guys have packed into that car. This is the great compromise. This is the car that does everything and it does it well. It sounds so good. It drives so smooth on the freeway, yet it is super nimble in the corners. According to my brother who took this car on a track day, he was posting lap times in the top 5 of his class of people at the track up against guys in much nimbler cars. Because of the all-wheel drive and the power, you can drive this more like a dirt bike. You know, come hard into the corner, jam on the brakes, slam on the gas, and exit real quick. And it has the ability to do that, whereas a picky rear-wheel drive car, you need that finesse. So it's kind of that good all-around weapon. Does it start to understeer? Yeah, it will. If you push it hard enough, most all-wheel drives start to understeer unless they've got a bias towards the rear. But it's a neat car. I recommend, if anybody is out there looking at an M3 or possibly an older AMG car, or maybe an AMG 55 without the supercharger, this is a car to keep in consideration. I think it goes under the radar. It looks like an A4. It's really hard to distinguish to a lot of people, and that's another thing I like about it. When you're driving down the freeway, you are not a target. You're not some guy in a Porsche. You're not some guy in an M3. You are just a guy in a silver Audi. They don't know the difference. It could be an A4. It could have a 1.8T. It could have a 2.0T. They don't know. The reliability on the 4.2 is great as well. I've seen a lot less problems with these cars than I have with the 2.7 liter turbo engines, which is not to say the 2.7T is a bad motor. it's fine. But anytime you have that much plumbing with forced induction involved, you're going to see some sort of emissions components failures. This is a much more straightforward engine. It always seems to me that when companies go towards a V8 in their more powerful cars, that everyone is more satisfied. The only exception to that rule, I think, is Saab with a turbocharged 4. Yeah, you say what you want, but they're fun to drive, and they're pretty reliable. That's it for what I have today. Thank you guys for tuning in. You guys have a great day, and I will leave you with the sound of the exhaust note of the S4.